All right, you guys, so this is Math 1010, midterm review number 1, or pardon me, midterm review number 2. Okay, here's question 1. So determine if this is increasing or decreasing. So if you look at the equation, the slope is right there, and the slope is a positive, so it's increasing, and explain the slope is positive. So if the slope had a negative in front of it, it would be decreasing, okay? Number 2, write the equation of a line that has a slope of -2 and passes through the point 3, -4. So you go y minus the y value, which is a -4, minus a -4 is a +4, is equal to the slope, which is a -2, times x minus the x value, which is 3. It doesn't say how to write it, so you could leave it like that. That's point slope form. If they asked you to write it in slope intercept form, distribute the -2, -2x plus 6, move your 4 over, y equals -2x plus 2. That's your answer in slope intercept form. Okay, question number 3. So plot the points on a graph. Well, if you notice, these are your y's, you guys. The y's are all 8.99. So 1.5 is here, 2 is going to be here, 3 is going to be here, 4.5 is going to be there. It looks like that. Okay, so there's your line. Looks like that. I'll do it in red. So that line right there crosses the y-axis. So part B, it would be y equals, where does it cross the y-axis? 8.99. Also, if you look at the table, all of the y values are 8.99. Okay, here's question 4. So 4a, graph x equals -2. So your x-axis is your horizontal axis, and it's going to cross the horizontal axis at -2. So it looks like that. Okay. Question B, y equals -2/3 x plus 5. So go up 5. Up 5, make a dot, and then up 2 and right 3, down 2 and left 3, and there's your graph. Okay. Question A, 4a, is it a function? No, it's not. It doesn't pass the vertical line test, and B is yes, it is. Okay, question 5, simplify. Okay, so 24 over 3 reduces to an 8. 4x's over 4x's go away. 3y's on top and 5 on bottom. You have 2 on the bottom left over. And then z's, you have more on the top. How many more? 3 more. That's it. Number 6, write this in radical form. So it's the 5th root, and then in parentheses you have a 3y raised to the 4th. But you need to simplify that. So that's going to be a 5, a 5th root, pardon me, and then you have a 3 to the 4th and a y to the 4th. So 3 to the 4th is 81. So it's the 5th root of 81, y to the 4th. Okay, question 7. So the 60th root of -5, that's an imaginary number. So is it possible to do it in the real number system? The answer is no, it's not. And I would say if you have an even root and a negative number inside, that's imaginary, which is not real. Okay, question 8. 5 squared to 3 minus the square root of 108. So the 108 breaks down into 2 times 54. 54 is 3 times, I'm going to do 2. 2 times 27. 27 is 3 times 9. 9 is 3 times 3. So these are going to come out and these are going to come out. So I have 5 squared to 3 3's come out as 1, 2's come out as 1. 3 times 2 is a 6, square root of 3. So I can add them together. 5 minus 6 is a negative 1. There's your answer. Question 9. The cube root of 4x multiplied by the cube root of 5y plus the cube root of 3xy. So first you go this times this. So that's the cube root of 4 times 5 is a 20 xy plus the cube root of 4 times 3 is 12 x to the second y. 20 is going to break down into 4 and 5. 4 is 2 and 2, but I don't have 3 of anything. The other guy's not going to have 3 of anything either, so I'm done. Question number 10. Write this in interval notation. I'm just going to do a graph just so you can visualize it. So negative 5 is here, positive 9 is here. The 9 has an equal sign, the 5 does not have an equal sign, and you always shade in between. So in interval form is negative 5 with the parenthesis to 9 with the bracket, and that's it. Okay, number 11. Okay, so we have x plus y is 5, and we know that z is 7. So is it correct that x plus y plus z is 12? Well, x plus y is 5, so substitute that in. Z is a 7. Is 5 plus 7 12? Yes. Okay, how do you know that? Because of substitution. That's what I would say. Okay, question number 12. So you've got 4, 8. So you go g of x, which is 4, is equal to y, which is 8. That's it. Number 13. So you've got the ordered pairs 5, 82 and 7, 79. So you're finding the slope. So you go 79 minus 82 over 7 minus 5. So that's a negative 3 over 2. So there's your slope. They want a unit of measure. So it's always y per x. So look at the y. So it would be feet per month is your x. So please make sure you label that. Question B, what does that mean? It means that every month that passes, the depth decreases by 1.5 feet. Some of you said decrease by negative. That's like a double negative. So decreasing by a negative is not a thing. So it's just decreasing. Okay. Number 14. So here's the equation they give you. If you read it, the x is the t, which stands for times in minutes, and the y is your h of t, which stands for the height. So this is the height of an airplane. So find the height h of 20. So it's negative 500 times 20 plus 2500, which is 15,000. And that is a y coordinate, and that is in feet. Okay, so 15,000 feet. Explain what that means. That means if 20 minutes has passed, then the plane is at 15,000 feet. Okay, find the practical domain. Domain is x. That stands for minutes. So it goes from anywhere from 0 to so when are they going to land? When is the height going to be a 0? So you go to negative 500t plus 2500 is equal to 0. That's when your height is a 0. So you have negative 500t equals negative 2500. Divide by negative 500 and you get t equals 500. 0, actually 50, sorry, t equals 50. So anywhere from 0 to 50 minutes. Question C, what's the range? That's height, so it's anywhere from 0 to, and then your maximum height, it peaks up at 25,000, it says in the words, and you're actually going to hit it. Is it discrete or continuous? Well, your x coordinates are minutes, so if it's discrete, that means you can only do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes of flying. That's false because you can fly in between minutes. So this is continuous. Okay, and explain, I would say you can determine the height between minutes. That makes sense to me. Okay. Okay, here's question 15. So it's the cube root of 2 times the cube root of 12x plus the cube root of 5 plus 7 times the cube root of 3x. So first you go this times this. So that's the cube root of 12 times 2 is 24x. Then the cube root of 2 times the cube root of 5, that is the cube root of 10. And then this guy right here, 7 times the cube root of 3x. So 24 is 2 times 12, 12 is 2 times 6, 6 is 2 times 3. So these three 2's come out. So it's 2 times the cube root of 3x. I don't have 3 of anything in a 10. I don't have 3 of anything in a 3x. So this is a cube root of 3x. This is a cube root of 3x. When I add them, I get a cube root of 3x. 7 plus 2 is a 9. This is plus the cube root of 10. That's my answer. Okay, that was 15. Here is 16. Solve the system. So they give you that equation. They give you that equation. You guys, if c is 2x plus 75, I'm going to put it right there. So I have 2x plus 75 is equal to 3x plus 55. So this 3x comes over and becomes a negative. So then I get negative x. I'm going to pull the 75 over, and that's going to be a negative. So I have equals negative 20, so that gives me x equals 20. Some of you guys stopped right there, but you have to actually find c as well. So use either that equation or that equation. I'll just do the top one. So it's 2 times 20 plus 75. That's 40 plus 75, which is 115. So the ordered pair, you know, I don't know how they want you to write it, so I'd write it like that. Excuse me. Part B, what does that mean? Okay, so basically, these are towing company, okay, and the X stands for the number of miles, okay. So I'm going to say if you are, if I'm not, you're not told your vehicle is towed. If your vehicle is towed 20 miles, I'm just going to say it instead of write it. Both companies will charge $115. Okay. Okay, here's question 17. So you have x to the 1/5 and x to the 2/3. So common denominator is going to be 15. 5 times 3 is 15, so 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15, so 2 times 5 is a 10. Then I add those and I get 13/15. So that's the simplified version. And then the radical version is the 15th root of x to the 13th. Okay, here is 18. So if you have two square roots and you're trying to solve and they're on the same side, you got to get them away from each other. So it's the square root of x plus 1 is equal to the square root of 2x minus 7. Then I square both sides. So x minus 1 equals 2x minus 7. Pull the 2x over, it becomes a negative. Pull the 1 over, it becomes a positive. So I have negative x equals negative 6. Change my signs, x equals 6. Since I even powered both sides, I have to check. So I'm going to go x equals 6, and I'm going to put it right there. So it's the square root of 6 minus 1 minus the square root of 2 times 6 minus 7 is equal to 0. That's the square root of 5 minus 6 times 2 is 12 minus 5 is 7. So is the square root of 5 minus the square root of 5 0? Yes. So my answer checks out. Okay, number 19. Okay, so I need to get an A in the center, so I'm going to subtract 3 from all regions. So I get a negative 20 is less than a negative 4A is less than or equal to negative 4. To solve for A, I'm going to divide by negative 4. Those cancel. And I get 5 is greater than A is greater than or equal to 1, which is awkward, so I'm going to switch it. The A has an equal sign, the 5 does not. And they want us to graph it on a number line. So it'd be 1 and a 5. The 1 is closed because I have an equal sign. The 5 is open because I don't. And it looks like that. And that's great. Okay, question 20. So I cannot FOIL these because one's a binomial and one is a trinomial. So 5x is second times x is 5x to the third. 5x is second times a negative 2 is a negative 10x squared. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times a negative 2 is a negative 4x. Distribute the negative 1, I get negative x plus 2. Clean it up, 5x to the third minus 8x to the second minus 5x plus 2. That's my answer. Okay, here's 21. I don't know why there's not a 21, 22. I don't really get that, but anyway. Anyway, here's 23. Okay, so solve this. So you have x plus y plus z equals 0. X minus y plus 3z equals 14. And then 5x plus y plus z equals negative 4. Okay, so look at the x's, 1, 1, 5, y's are 1, 1, 1, z's are 1, 3, 1. So for sure the easiest thing to eliminate is going to be the y's. So if I added equations 1 and 2 together right now, I'd get 2x, the y's would go away, plus 4z equals 14. If I took equations 2 and 3 and added those together, the y's would go away as well. So I'd have 6x plus 4z is equal to 10. And now I have to take those two and eliminate the x's or the z's. Well, the z's are ready. So if I distribute a negative, negative 2x minus 4z equals negative 14. Z's cancel, 4x equals negative 4. Divide x equals negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1 comma something comma something. So now I'm going to go up to the center, either here or here, and I'm going to put a negative 1 in for x. So I'll go here. So I have negative 2 plus 4z is equal to 14. Move my 2 over. 4z equals 16. Divide. Z equals 4. Now I have to find my y. I'm going to go to the top. This looks the easiest. So negative 1 plus y plus z, which is 4, is equal to 0. That's y plus 3 equals 0. I get y equals negative 3, and I'm done. You can check it, and I recommend checking it for sure. Okay, here is the next 23. So you have 8 times the cube root of 2 squared. So here's how I'm going to do this. I know I have to have 3 2's to get rid of the cube root. Well, right now I have 2 2's. So I only need 1 more 2. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the cube root of 2. Then I get 8 times the cube root of 2. I have 3 2's on the inside. So on the bottom I have 3 times 2 to the third. So those 3 2's come out as a single 2. It looks like that. Then 8 over 2 reduces, so the answer is 4 cube root of 2, and I'm done. Okay, that's it, you guys. Go to bed early. Get a lot of rest, okay?